Hey now, my name is Nick, this is Board Game Brawl, and we are starting a new series. This one is called Gathering the Dreadfleet. For those that don't know, the Games Workshop has a big box game called Dreadfleet. This is separate. It takes place in the same universe as the Warhammer Fantasy Miniatures war game that they have. It's very, very popular. Probably if either Warhammer or Fantasy or Warhammer 40k is number one and the other one is number two as far as miniatures gaming, I would guess. But this is just supposed to be a self-contained board game of a sort where in the Warhammer Fantasy world, there's this fleet called the Dreadfleet that's run by the evil vampire lord Count Noctilus, and the other ships are all like these evil, like mostly undead things, and they come up out of the mist and they assault all these port towns and pillage and plunder and destroy things. And unfortunately, they ran afoul of the wrong pirate, this pirate king who his name escapes me, Captain Roth. Captain Roth is he wants to get revenge on the Dreadfleet for destroying some of his ships or something like that. And I don't remember every exact detail of the story, but he gathers together a bunch of other like-minded ships who want to destroy the Dreadfleet. And so this is a two-player game, a skirmish game, where you're controlling different ships on either side of the battle, and you're actually going through a quest book, like a story book, going through different scenarios, trying to go through the story of the Dreadfleet. The game made it onto my list of games that I would like to see made into movies because I love the story so much. Just the way that it's presented here, it looks like, if you look at some of the imagery and pictures in the miniatures, it just looks like they could just come to life. It's just so cool. So even though I haven't played the game, I fully admit. So what this series is all about is me finally busting open the box, putting all the miniatures together, playing the game, and then actually reviewing the game, telling you what I finally think about it. So this video is just going to be me unboxing it. It's kind of a cheat because I did pop open the wrap and just look through the stuff already, but I haven't taken anything off of the sprues. There's a lot of plastic in this box, so just for now, we're just going to do a quick unboxing and show you what all the stuff is inside of the box, and then the next video is going to be me trying to assemble all of these. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, Brawlers, for part one of Gathering the Dreadfleet, we're going to do a little unboxing video. Now, this is a bit of a cheat because, as you can tell, this box has already been opened. The audacity of it all. No. I just opened it. I wanted to read the book. I wanted to see what it was all about, take a look at the pieces, but I haven't really done anything with any of the pieces. Nothing has been put together. Essentially, when I open this box, it's going to be what you see, more or less, maybe not in the same position, if you open a new copy of the game. So, and by the way, the game, I think it's out of print, but I also believe that there were a lot of copies made. It didn't really sell as well as people thought it would. I think the Games Workshop probably thought it would be the next Space Hulk. Didn't really turn into that. I actually got this relatively cheap on Amazon, brand new. I think, what did I pay? It was probably only like $50. Somewhere around there, whereas the original MSRP was like $120, $130. Jamie Keegi from Keegi something or other from the Secret Cabal Gaming podcast infamously gripes about how much he had to pay when he pre-ordered the original copy and how much it's going for now. Basically, bargain bin to some degree or another. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let's go to the actual unboxing, which is what you're all here for, I think. All right, here we go. Nice big box. Love that cover art right off the bat. It's looking really, really good. All right, here we go. So before we look at all that daunting plastic, here is the not just rule book of the game, but essentially a story book. I mean, it's really well put together. I'm not really totally familiar with everything that Games Workshop does, but they supposedly have a really good eye for artwork and for laying things out graphically. And after looking at this book, I believe it now. Here are in the beginning here, you have little introductory shots of the miniatures that come with the game, and it just looks gorgeous. Of course, even if I really knew how to paint miniatures, mine would never look this good. These are done by real Games Workshop professionals, but man, it just really gets you psyched for the game. The Grand Alliance, here's basically all the good guy ships, depending on who you define as the good guys. I would say that even by Warhammer Fantasy standards, these are good guys. Here's some more. Shows you some of the different terrain, things like that. Alright, here's the bad guys, the Dreadfleet, the titular Dreadfleet, because I love using the word titular. Alright, see, so I'm not going to go through every single page, but most of the book is, obviously teaching you the game. But when you get back to some of the back parts of the book, here you have the story. So it actually walks you through the story of Dreadfleet, which is one of the reasons why I thought this game would be awesome for some sort of movie adaptation in that top 10 list that I did, because they really go into intricate detail about all these characters, and everything seems really, really interesting. And I mean, it's just so well thought out, and the artwork really helps bring it to life. And it makes you want to just get steeped into the lore of the universe while you're actually playing the game. Now back here we have the, I don't know what you would call them, scenarios that you would actually go through when you're playing the game. Different ways that the map is set up and different objectives for the players. Really, really well done, cool, laid out. Everything seems, even though the book looks like it would be daunting to try and learn the game because it's pretty thick, everything's laid out pretty well. It doesn't seem that difficult. That's why one of the reasons why I want to play this and try this one first, because it seems like, I don't know if introductory miniatures game is the right word, but certainly a bridge between a traditional board game and a hardcore miniatures game. But in any case, let's go through the rest of the box. Here are the miniatures. Now, I've heard that Games Workshop miniatures famously are some of the best in the world. And I'm not sure yet because I had to see everything together, but they definitely look like really high quality. Definitely very intricately carved, sculpted, however you want to say it. You can tell I'm not much of a miniatures gamer. But, I am very intimidated at the thought of putting all this together. My last major project that I ever did that was even remotely like this was Super Dungeon Explorer. And I love that game, so I'm definitely not going to badmouth it, but I was so happy when the expansions were all put together already, because that was a lot of work for me. I just was not used to it. I'm sure that hardcore minis gamers would kind of scoff at the amount of work, but for me it was tough. But here's all, there's just so many little parts. And, oh man, more and more parts. Here's all the sails for the ships. It just looks so cool. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but there's just all this little intricate detail to, man, it's just so cool. I understand that components aren't everything, but it really helps when you have this kind of story-driven game. Here's the terrain. Check that out. They really went above and beyond. Even at the retail price, the MSRP, for what you get, if you're into miniatures gaming, especially if you're the type that's going to be painting them as well, that's a lot of bang for your buck. So here's the rest of what's in the box here. This is the map, which I'm going to unfold in a moment. Here's some of the other things which I didn't really do much with the box after I opened it, so I haven't even opened these cards. I guess I'm going to do that, although it's kind of a pain to do that on the fly. I didn't bring my trusty razor from work. But, let's hold on a second. Here's Hobbit cards. Ugh! I hate Hobbit cards. But anyways, hey, they give you baggies. That's really cool. And even little tiny dice, which I was kind of disappointed in the dice because, I don't know, I thought they should at least have some, different faces for the 6s and 1s or something like that. But, yeah, it's still cool. Alright, so let's get back to the Hobbit cards in a minute. Let's go ahead and unfold this game map, because this was one of the things that I actually, despite all the plastic, I thought this was super cool. And I work at a marketing company that actually produces things like this, so I understand how they do it, and so it's pretty cool. It can be kind of expensive. I'm kind of surprised that they went this route, but it definitely helps. So when you're playing the game, you're going to lay this out, and boom, it looks really, really cool. It's really big. I'm not going to be able to get this all on camera, but I would just like to see. Yeah, it's really big. It takes up a lot of space. But, it may not look like much on its own, but picture this with all the different ships and the terrain out there. Even if those aren't painted, it would look really, really good on this. I saw this game on the shelf, just kind of eyeing it months and months before I actually decided to purchase it, and that was what always got me. Is that just this game board, quote unquote, just looks so cool. So that's definitely a highlight of the game. Now let's see if I can. There we go. I at least got the Hobbit cards open. These look to be sort of action cards. I don't know. I looked through the book, but I was really only reading the story, so that's going to be part of this video series of actually learning how to play the game and playing it, finding out what all these different things do. wounds, damage cards. Oh, okay, so different types of damage inflicted to your ship. I guess I should have read the other side first. All right, another pack of Hobbit cards. Okay, cool. Submerged. I guess it's just a token indicating like what you are at anchor. Auxiliary. There's little bits of art here. That's cool. They didn't necessarily have to do that. So, fate cards must be like something that you have to draw, like story or adventure cards, something like that. Random things that happen. And let's see what else we got. This one, I think that's it, right? This pack of cards here. Let's see if I can open this. All right. So what's in the news today? All right, got it. And all it took was me mostly messing up my teeth. All right, these are different stat cards. Cool. Pictures on the back. There's a Bloody Reaver, which is Count Noctilus's ship. The Black Kraken. The Scabrous. Very cool. I'm not going to go through every one, but here I'll show you some of the art. Everything looks really, really cool. I like it. I like it. Alright, and then here we have, these look like, yeah, order cards. In fact, they are order cards. Wow. See, I'm getting excited to actually play the game even as I'm going through this. But that is Dreadfleet. Oh, well, let me show you, oh, cool, on the sides of the bottom of the box, how to put the ships together. Well, that's a neat place to put them. I was wondering about that. I was thinking if I'd have to go online or not. But, oh, here's what it's supposed to look like, all put together. I mean, mine's not going to look anything like that. One day I'll be able to paint to make it look reasonably like that by squinting from about, 20 feet away. But I would be perfectly happy just to have all this assembled and be able to play. But that's Dreadfleet. This has been the unboxing. We're going to get back to my final thoughts, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing this game and letting you know what I think. Well, there you go. I am actually very intimidated by the amount of work that's ahead of me as far as putting all of this together. I have a sister video series sort of called Journey into War Machine, where I'm putting together the miniatures in the War Machine battle box. And even that seemed a little daunting to me, and it was like not nearly as many miniatures as this, or at least it seems that way, and not as intricate. But I am up to the challenge. I want to put this together. I want to play the game. So what you can look forward to in the next video series, or the next video in this series, I'm going to be putting them all together. I'll show you some footage of that. And then for the third video, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if I'm going to try to film some footage of a game of us playing it, or if I'm just going to play the game on my own and then do a review of it. And in the future, I may even have a video as part of the series that's me painting them. If I ever get good enough where I want to paint these very exquisite looking miniatures and hopefully not ruin them. So I would like to get some experience under my belt before I do that. But in any case, this will kind of be an extended, protracted series. But hopefully, if you yourself have already played Dreadfleet and like it, and you want to see a newcomer's perspective to it, or if you have no idea what the game is like and you would like to, if you're interested in it and want to see what it's like, please stay tuned. I think it'll be pretty interesting. My name is Nick. This has been Board Game Brawl, video 1 in the Gathering of the Dreadfleet. And I'm reminding you to get out there and game every day and in every way. Take care.